Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Want to wish you a good Shabbos, a Sabbath of peace, and maybe a little bit of quiet. We are in Parshat Lech Lecha. Go for yourself, go into yourself. And one of the ideas when we get started here is that we've been talking about gratitude. On page 146, we look at the brachas, we look at the blessings, we look at gratitude. I've often talked about how it's important to be grateful. What an amazing way to start the day. What an important way to start the day. It is actually a necessity to start each day with gratitude so that we enter into our daily production, our daily creations, our daily ins and outs with a grateful heart. And I just want to make that distinction. Oftentimes, gratitude can be reduced to an intellectual conversation, and that we make a gratitude list, which is fine. That we list off what we're grateful for, which is fine. That we kind of think about what it is that we are grateful for, which is fine. But what is the most important part of gratitude is to really have a grateful heart, that our center, our being is one of gratitude. That aren't we lucky that we have another shot at a new day in front of us? Aren't we grateful that we have an opportunity to change our lives, that we are truly free human beings that can choose how it is that we want to go through our day? Isn't it nice to be pleasant in our day? If you had to make a choice, wouldn't you rather be joyous and happy and free as opposed to depressed and a little bit off and angry and resentful? You can make that choice today. And one of the ways that we do that is through our prayers. Sometimes we need a little push. Sometimes we need a little change of our perspective. And that's really what these brachas, that's blessings, are for. Every blessing, in fact, is to help us change our perspective and become aware of a creation that is happening around us. If you look at our brachas, what do they say? For giving us the ability to distinguish between day and night. Are you able to, in the morning, wake up and look outside and be grateful for the fact that you have a sun in which to interpret and be with and grow and joy through the day? Aren't we lucky that we have a new opportunity in front of us? As we go through the brachas, the blessings that the cantor will chant this morning, take a moment to change your perspective. Perspective is really what is going to help us as we move through Shabbat and through the new year. I want to be also thoughtful that I am here with Cantor, and I am grateful for Cantor, not just as an intellectual saying, but I am grateful from my heart that we have created together a Shabbat morning service, a tradition together, really focused on connecting our community, connecting the community to a moment of prayer, a moment of reflection every Shabbat morning. Yasher koach to you, Cantor. We start on page 146 with the morning blessings.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi. Good to have you back. Good to be back on our virtual bima. You from your office and me from my office. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sech v'bina le'avhin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani betzomo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mabish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asa li kol tzarki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher chikin mitzadei gaber. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten layaf koah.
Turn now to page 218 for Shochenad. You who abide forever, magnified and hallowed be your name. Rejoice in the Lord, O righteous. It is fitting for the upright to praise the Lord.
Shochen ad marom v'kadosh shemo v'katuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai lasharim nava tehila v'fi sharim tithalal uv'divrei tzadikim titpara uv'ilshon chasidim tidromam uv'kerev kedoshim titkadash Uv machalot rivivot amcha bet Yisrael. Shaken chovat kol hayitzurim lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu lehodot lehalel leshabeach lefaer leromim lehader levarech leolel kales al kol divrei shirot batishbachot David ben Yishai Abdecha Mishichecha Yishtabach Shimcha Lad Malkeinu Berachot v'aodot me'ata ve'ad olam Baruch atah Adonai El melech gadol batishbachot El ha'od Adon ha'niflaot Abocher b'shirei zimra, melech el ha'olamim.
Page 224, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, yotzer or, u'varei hoshech, osei shalom, u'varei atakol. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who forms light, creates darkness, who ordains the harmony of all creation. We take a moment before we enter into the morning service officially, really asking God that we be aware that we are in harmony with God's creation. We turn now to we turn now to El Adon on page 228.
El Adon al kol hamasim, Baruch u'vora b'fi kol neshama, God lo v'tuvo ma'alei olam, da'at u'tvuna sovevimoto, hamitgaeh al chayot hakodesh, v'nedar b'chavod al chamerchava, suru mishor lifnei chiso, Chesed v'rachamim livnei chevodo, tovim me'orot shabara Eloheinu, yitzaram b'dad b'bina u'paskel, ko'ah gvura natan bahem, liot moshlim b'kerev tevel, melim ziv u'mfikim noga, na'ezivam b'chol ha'olam, smechim b'tzeitam v'sasim b'voam, Osim be'em haratzon konam, per v'chavod nonim lishmo, zachal averin ala zecher malchuto, kara l'shemesh v'yizrachor, ra'a v'chit kinsurat halvana, shevach nonim lo, kol tzva marom, tiferet u'gedula, Seraphim ve'ofanim v'chayot hakodesh.
On page 237, cause a new light to shine on Zion, and may we all be worthy to delight in its splendor. Praised are you, O Lord, creator of the heavenly lights. What we focus on increases. When it speaks of cause a new light to shine on Zion, we are looking for new perspective. Everyone's aware when you're in the dark and you put on a flashlight, wherever you point the flashlight, it is clear. It clarifies, it enlightens, it shows what it is that you're pointing at. The question that we ask right now, and when we ask God, is to give us new perspective, to change the way in which we're looking at things. Where we always point the light is what we will see. What we focus on increases. Be very, very aware of what you are focused on and what you continue to look at regularly. Or Chadash.
Or Hadash al Tzion Ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
With an abounding love have you loved us, Lord our God. Great and overflowing tenderness have you shown us. Ahava Rabbah.
Ahava Rabbah Tanu Adonai Eloheinu Am Lagedol Avitera Amalta Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avur Avotenu Shabbat Luvecha Avinu Malkeinu Vat lamdem chukei chayim, ken techanenu telamdenu, avinu ha'av harachaman, amrachem rachem aleinu. V'tein belibenu lehavinu hashkil lishmoa, le'lemod u'le'lamed, lishmor ve'lasot. Ulkayem et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha be'ahava V'ha'erinenu betoratecha V'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha V'yached levavenu Le'ahava ulira et shemecha V'lo nevosh Le'olam va'ed, v'lo nevosh, le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kadshecha, hagadol v'anora b'tachnu, nagila v'nizmecha b'shuatecha.
Gather our people in peace, O Lord, from the four corners of the earth, as we gather the four corners of our talit together as we prepare for the Shema.
V'havienu le'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz v'tolichenu komemiut le'artzenu ki el poel yeshuot atah uvanu v'charta mikolam belashon v'kerav tanu l'shimecha hagadol selah be'emet l'chodot lecha u'yachedcha be'ahava Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meotecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha Uvelechtecha v'derech, ushachbecha uvekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'eineinecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha.
The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make fringes in the corner of their garments throughout their generation. Put upon the fringes of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the fringes, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclinations of your heart or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus will you be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God.
Leman tizkeru v'azitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Oftentimes in our life, there is a defining moment. There is also a defining moment for our people. Is Abraham Joshua Heschel, the great rabbi for the United States, says, we are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivably without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Think for a moment about times in your life. Maybe it was just one point in time in your life that changed everything, that made you who you are today. It's important to return to those memories. Memories help and guide us as we look to the future. We turn to page 252 as we prepare for the Shemona Esrei.
Tehilot le'elayon barhum vorach, Moshe u'bnei Yisrael echanu shira, v'simcha rabah ve'amru chulam, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh feleh. Shirat Hashashi v'chu golim l'shimcha al safat hayam yachad kulam hodu v'himlechu v'omru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Sur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael ufedei chinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzavot shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
On page 254, we begin the Shachrit Amida for the Sabbath, being led by our cantor just a few beginning brachot, and then we enter into silent reflection or prayer, and we'll come together again with Osei Shalom.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Koneh HaKol v'Zocher Chazdei Avot Umevi goel livnei v'neihem leman shemo be'ahava melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechaye metim atah rav lehoshia mashiva ruach u'morid hagashem Mechal kel chayim bechesed, mechaye metim berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofeh holim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato Lishanei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umidro melach, melech memid, umachaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata l'chayot metim, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hametim.
Grant peace, goodness, and blessing to the world, grace, kindness, and mercy to us, to all your people, Israel, and all humankind. Bless us all, God, with the divine light of your presence, for by the divine light you have revealed to us your Torah, loving kindness, righteousness, mercy, and peace. May it please you to bless your people, Israel, in every season and in every hour with your peace. Praised are you, bestower of peace upon your people, Israel.
Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru imru amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen.
Koach to you, Cantor. Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion, Lech Lecha, discusses many aspects of our tradition. There are many stories. I wanted to focus this week on something that is extremely important to our tradition. In the beginning of Breshit, we are told as human beings what it is that we are to do in the material world. We are, as people, to till and to toil. We learn that we are to get out and do, to produce, to create, and live in the world. Here in this week's Torah portion, we are told spiritually what we as a people ought to do, and that is to be a blessing, to be a bracha, to go in the world and to bless the world. What does that mean? Does that mean that I literally go out in the world and offer blessings? Does that mean I go out in the world and I'm nice to people, hold the door for people? What is it that I am supposed to actually do? This week, we are told exactly what we are to do. We look at Abraham, if you recall, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. We start off our bracha that the cantor read so beautifully, beginning of the Shemona Esrei. Why is it that we constantly go to remind ourselves of our forefathers during our prayer? This is the reason, so that we are reminded of how they were in the world. Good, the bad, the ugly. I don't like to go into this whole idea of good and bad. That's not useful. But there are moments of great joy and there are moments of where they may have been misdirected. This isn't a moral discussion. This is the discussion of how we can be the best individuals we can be. We learn here how we can be a bracha. If you look at Lech Lecha, it starts off, God says to Avram, and remember, he's not Abraham yet. We learn about that in a few chapters. Go for yourself. Lech lecha, go for yourself from your land. Abraham, or Avram at the time, leaves the land, your relatives, and from your father's house. Go to a land that I will show you. Many of us know this beautiful song. And I will make for you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. That is what we are told to do. Go and be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and those who curse you I will curse, and all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you. And we are told to go and be a blessing. Go. We are to be like our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. We are to show the world that we are like our ancestors, and we are as well to be a blessing. How do you do that? This isn't about just going up and expressing how to this, how to that, be a blessing here, praise this, do that, say a bracha over the bread, do all these kinds of things, be nice people. That's all nice. How long will that last? How long does that move? How long does that make us create ourselves as being these holy, righteous individuals, which we know at times we are, and we know at times we are not? How is it that we are to be a blessing? I want to look, if you look to nature, you look around, you can see exactly what it is that we ought to do. Take example, if you are a farmer, you plant. Many people these days have been gardening because they have had some time or they have been at home. And so if you go to Lowe's or you go to Home Depot, a lot of people are learning how to garden. What does that mean though? What does it mean to garden? When you go out, do you just look and hope it's going to happen? Obviously not. You actually have to go and buy the seeds. You have to go and plant the seeds and create the soil and get the manure and put the seed in there and cultivate it. Wait for it to grow. Make sure there's enough water and sunlight, etc., and so on. It isn't just something that's going to happen. The flower or the plant in which you have planted, it takes time to grow, but you created the conditions in which allow the plant to grow. You created the environment where the plant could grow. You cultivated it and you continued to watch it. It didn't just come out of nowhere. That too is how we are to become blessings. We fit ourselves. We create the environment. We don't go out and just bless. We create the environment to be a blessing. We create an environment and we cultivate an environment in which people are able to feel as though they are blessed. If you take for a moment, is our community one in which is a welcoming community? We often get asked that, whatever community we are in, wherever we are, I didn't feel comfortable. Is there a way that we could make the community more welcoming? There are ways in which we cultivate that environment. It's not just by saying hello. You can just say hello when somebody feels wherever they are in their mind, whether or not that was a nice hello or a hello in which they didn't have good feelings. It depends on where those people are at the moment. Isn't that right? Somebody who's in a bad place or somebody who has negative feelings in them because something happened prior and you say hello to them, they take it much differently than somebody who is happy and joyous at the moment that you say hello. Isn't that right? So what we ultimately have to do is create the environment in which people feel as though they are welcome. That's the same as creating the environment in which people feel a blessing. It is up to us to create that, to cultivate that. Make the space so that blessings can move forward. That is precisely what Avram did. Avram went forth from the land. He left the land that was creating the environment not to be a blessing. He left his relatives, those around him who were not cultivating the experience to be able to be a bracha. And he left his father's house, the place in which you ought to feel, and he did not, you ought to feel safe and secure. He didn't feel that way, so he had to leave that place so that he could truly create an environment in which the blessings could move forward. It is time for us more than ever to fit ourselves to be of service to those around us and to make the space and to cultivate the environment in which we can be a blessing. And that is not just by doing more. In fact, it is by reducing within ourselves those things that block us from truly being a blessing. Let's spend this Shabbat removing from us, not adding more, but removing that which is blocking us from the blessings that are within us, so that we can truly be a community that blesses each other. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Aleinu, which can be found on page 480.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ha'al ushrinatu zo begavhei meromim Hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu betorato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim imhal, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat einod.
For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written in your Torah, the Lord shall reign forever and ever, and it has been foretold the Lord shall be sovereign over all the earth. On that day the Lord shall be one, and shall be acclaimed as one.
Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch leolam va'ed v'nehemar v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
May the memories which we cherish and lovingly now recall inspire us so to live that we may too bequeath a heritage of precious memories to those we shall leave behind. This week's yahrzeits: Lucille Nathan, mother of Stuart Nathan; Molly Zebrock, mother of Eileen Hamus; Faye Amster, mother of Arlene Soretsky; Norman Friedman, father of Rebecca Furman; Abraham Fruitman, father-in-law of Susan Komsky; Stanley Abrams, stepfather of Stephen Feinholtz; Sue Kane, mother-in-law of Lauren Kane; Max Altman, father-in-law of Sheila Altman; Barry Bloom, brother of Jay Bloom; Adolphe De La Torre, father of Julie Zelster; David Silverman, cousin of Phil Levy; Alice Collins, aunt of Nathan Tovek; Ethel Oler, mother of Harry Berenson; Lester Greenberger, father of Beth Deodario; and William Zelser, father of Alan Zelser. Ribono shel olam, Elohei rechol b'chol basar, master of the world, God of the flesh of all spirit, it is revealed and known before you that it is our desire to praise your name. May our yearnings and our prayers find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you. May you grant hope and healing to all who suffer, and may we soon be able to once again gather safely in holiness and joy. May your name, God, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth. And may peace reign everywhere. Say shalom ben Romav, huya say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who makes harmony and peace in the heights, grant us harmony and peace here for us, for all Israel, and all humankind, and let us all say amen. We conclude our service with Adon Olam on page 488.
Adon Olam asher mala b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'hevza kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiflot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu oveh v'hu yeh v'tifara v'hu echad ve'en sheni Laham Shilo, Lahachbira, Beli Reshit, Beli Taklit, Velo Haos, Vehamizra, Vechu Eli, Vechai Goali, Vetzur Chevli, Be'et Sahara, Vehunisi, Umanos Li, Menat Kosi, Be'yom Ekra, Be'yahado, Avkid Ruchi, Be'etishan ve'ahira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.